I mean, we don't really have a name for the channel yet because we haven't named our boat yet.
Welcome to Marty's Sex Dungeon.
Yeah, yeah.
Welcome to our channel, Marty's Sex Dungeon.
Time to get wet and wild.
Time to get wet and wild.
No, you know, that boat got wet enough. Enough. No more wet boats.
Let's get wet and wild with Marty's Sex Dungeon.
No.
Ew, what was that?
What's up, everybody? It's me, Alex. This is Madison and my friend Andrew here. We are starting a YouTube channel for our cruising adventure. We're going to be live-aboard cruisers on our very own sailboat named nothing, because it doesn't exist yet. But Andrew did buy a boat, and he was planning on living on it. Today we're going to tell that story, hopefully so that you guys will learn from Andrew's mistakes. So this is a how not to buy a sailboat video. We're going to kind of do this interview style, even though I know a lot of this stuff, just to ease the conversation.
Yeah, and I forget a lot of stuff, so
and he forgets
give me direction.
What was your plan when you first bought your boat?
I had two friends who live at a marina in New Jersey, and they basically called me up one day and were like, hey, we're living on a boat in New Jersey. It's super cheap. I was like, sick. I don't like where I live, so why not go find a boat? So I went down to New Jersey to go look for a boat. I was just planning on being a live-aboard in the marina. I had intentions of like sailing around a bit, but there was no like grand plan of like becoming a cruiser or anything like that. It was just much cheaper. And actually, if anybody out there is interested in an alternate way of living rather than like an apartment, it is way cheaper to buy a boat and live in a marina than it is to get an apartment in a city. If you're thinking about it, give that a try because you can save a lot of money.
So before you bought the boat, did you do like any research or anything into what it is that you really wanted?
No. Nope, I didn't. I didn't do any research. I just kind of figured that I was a smart enough lad that I'd go look at boats and I'd be like, that would be good to live on.
Yeah. And what type of boat did you end up with?
So I got a 1977 Morgan Out Island 33. Floor plan is actually the 333. It was designed by Charles Morgan, although built by Catalina. There's, you know, some interesting backstory there. Maybe we'll get into another time. It was designed for use in the Bahamas as a charter boat. So it had a lot of space for people, and it was very big. It's a very wide boat. It's a 33-foot boat with an almost 12-foot beam. So
a floating living room.
Yeah, there was one particular guy at the marina that walked by and called it the pumpkin seat.
Looked like a big pumpkin.
Pretty accurate to the shape of the boat.
And then the keel itself was pretty shallow. It had a 4-foot draft. Full keel?
Yeah.
Yeah, so full keel.
Goes the whole length of the boat.
Perfect for the shallow Caribbean island sailing.
And other shallow places you might find your boat.
And wherever else you might end up. So what was the buying process? What did you do?
The buying process was basically decide how much money I wanted to spend, which at the time was $10,000. I thought that was an appropriate amount of money to spend on a boat, which another time we'll have a conversation about how much money you realistically should be expecting to spend on a boat. So I decided how much money I was going to spend, and then I just went online and started searching for boats, basically. $10,000 or less, looking for boats, mainly on Craigslist, which isn't a bad way to do it, but it's definitely annoying because I contacted probably 15 boat owners that were in the price range that I was looking and fit like the length, because I didn't want a tiny boat. I wanted it to be 30 feet or bigger as well. With those two requirements, I was able to find 15 boats. I reached out to all of the owners of the boats, and I got 6 or so responses, like affirmative, yeah, come on down and come look at the boat. I'm from Massachusetts, these boats are all down in New Jersey, which meant I had to make a whole trip out of going down there. So I tried to schedule them all on the same weekend. I had lined up 2 of them, backed out. One of them, the boat got sold. The other guy just like didn't respond to me. So I had lined up 4 to go look at. I had 1 Saturday morning, 1 Saturday afternoon, 1 Sunday morning, and 1 Sunday afternoon. And when I got down there, the first guy contacts me on Saturday and is like, yeah, the boat's sold already. So already I'm like, okay, crap, one of my 4 choices is out. Because I was rushing at this point. I just wanted to go get a boat. So I was really only planning on looking at those 6 boats, which was then 4, and now it's 3. And then I went to see the second boat on that day, which was Magic Girl 3, because the Morgan Out Island. So
wait, what was the name of your boat?
It was Magic Girl 3. Yep.
Okay, keep going.
Also known as Marty's Sex Dungeon. There's a lot of rope in that boat. Like I know obviously sailors need rope, but like the whole V-berth was full of rope. like the whole thing.
I think we have some clips of all the rope.
Yeah,
We'll
I
put
think we
that
do.
in.
It's actually all here now too. So I went and looked at that boat. I looked around, was like, yeah, it seems fine. It had a lot of space. It had a lot of living area. There was some like minor water damage, I thought. So I wasn't too worried about it. I talked to the owner a lot. He was a really nice guy. He was offering the boat for $9,000. I was like, okay, great. I'll have an extra $1,000 because I already took out the loan to get the boat. Again, it's important to know I was rushing. That was definitely a mistake. You need to take a long time to go look at boats. I had 2 more boats lined up to go look at, so I left Magic Girl 3 and Marty. We had a good conversation. It was fine. I was pretty excited about this boat because I thought it was in pretty good condition. And then, so my afternoon boat that I was supposed to go look at on Sunday sold too. So this is now, out of the 4 boats I was supposed to go look at, 2 of them have sold. So at this point, like internally, I'm like, oh my God, all the boats are selling. If I don't buy a boat soon, I'm not gonna get one.
There'll be no more boats left.
Exactly, right?
They're all gone.
Which is a huge mistake. Huge mistake. There are so many boats out there. When one boat sells, another one goes up on the market. Don't rush to go buy a boat. You know, if it sells out from underneath you, it sucks, it stings a bit, but just wait until a new one comes up. It was so stupid. Because then what happened is I was like, all right, I don't even want to wait until Sunday. Because what if Sunday comes around and Marty sells that boat out from underneath me, and then all I have is the boat that I wanted to look at Sunday morning left, and I didn't even really like that boat that much.
Just from looking at it online?
Just from looking at it online. Right? The Out Island was my second favorite boat. My first favorite boat was the one I was going to see that morning, which sold. So I just went back to Marty that same day, and I was like, yeah, I'll give you $9,000 for it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Same
You
day
didn't
I
even
looked
try
at
and
it.
negotiate.
Nope. I was
You're
just
like, full price, let's do it.
Because he was originally offering the boat for $15,000. It had been on the market for a while and come down to $9,000. So I was just like, yeah, you know what? I got to go get the money, so I'm not going to be able to get you the money until like next week. So if you just agree to hold the boat for me, I will just pay you $9,000.
I see.
And he agreed. He was like, yeah, sure. I'll keep the boat for you. I'll take it off the market.
So that was before you got your survey?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it was.
So you'd already agreed to buy it before you even gotten the survey?
Yes. Again, this goes back to what I said slightly earlier, where I was like, I'm a smart lad. I'll be able to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, whether or not you guys think I'm smart or not, like, doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter how smart you are. If you don't know about boats, you're not smart enough to survey a boat on your own.
If you don't know what a survey is, it's basically get somebody that knows a lot about boats to come look at your boat before you buy it and tell you what's wrong with it or what's good about it.
Yeah.
Hopefully both. But yeah, you
Hopefully
didn't...
not both. Hopefully just good.
Well, yeah, I mean...
In the ideal... Hopefully there's something good and bad.
Hopefully there's nothing bad with it. But you didn't get a real survey.
So there's 2 kinds of surveys.
Yeah.
Okay. There's like a pre-purchase survey, which is what I should have had done. They take the boat out of the water, they inspect the bottom, you do a sea trial with the surveyor usually, so you actually sail it, check the motor, things like that, as well as it's much more in-depth. But what I had done was called an insurance survey, which is basically, it's much more cursory. They just go into the boat, they have a list of ABYC standards, which is the American Boat and Yacht Council, for anybody who doesn't know. They are like the governing body for boat standards. But he has a big old list of that, and he goes through, he marks down anything that's not in ABYC spec. Then that list gets sent to the insurance company so they know the quality of your boat, basically, and how likely it is to sink, which is why I got port-only insurance.
So port-only insurance. You were only covered in a marina, pretty much?
Yeah, because the boat world isn't like the automobile world. Unless a marina, like the one I was at, which has a lot of expensive yachts, forces you to have insurance to stay there, you don't have to insure your boat.
Right.
There's no requirement, no rule. You can take your boat, your 30-foot boat, and run it through the side of a $1 million yacht and just be in debt for the rest of your life. Nobody's going to stop you from doing that.
Well, no insurance agency or, anything like that's going to stop you. But
no, I mean, like, there's no law. Like, in a car, you have to have insurance, so that if you drive your car through somebody's house, there's no regulations, so you're not required to have insurance. If you're reasonably careful, that's not too much of an issue, especially if you're at Anchorage a lot.
And we'll talk about that probably in some future videos about what our plan for insurance is going to be.
Yeah, true.
Let's talk about the money side really quick. How'd you afford this boat? $9,000 is quite a bit of money.
I have, still currently, I had at that time as well, a fairly decent job working as a software consultant. So I made pretty good money, but I didn't actually have $9,000 to spend on a boat at the time. So I used an online company called Lightstream, which I actually highly recommend. They're really easy to work with if you ever need to get a loan for anything. They didn't charge too high of an insurance rate, but I got a $10,000 loan, unsecured loan, so they had no lien on the boat. They had no recourse to take it back if I didn't pay the loan. I think I got it for like 5 years, and I paid like $300 a month or something for the boat. Much less than rent was the way I was looking at it. So again, you guys already know, but for everyone else out there, I've been back in, I think it was like 2016, I moved to California, and ever since then I've just been like adventuring, basically. going place to place, moving around. My home has always been here in Massachusetts, but I definitely traveled around a lot. So a lot of the reason why I bought the boat was because I don't really like being here all that much. I just don't feel like I really grow as a person, or I'm the best version of myself here. It was a way for me to go somewhere else to do something different and to kind of have an opportunity to like experiment with like a different style of living. Because even like when I moved to California or when I lived in London and stuff like that, it was kind of still living in an apartment,
Right.
do the normal life stuff.
Why'd you buy a boat that was not the right boat?
So like, why specifically did I buy a boat so quickly?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I really didn't want to be here anymore, was the thing. I just wanted to go somewhere else, and like that led to a lot of rushing,
Yeah.
and that's just, nope.
Now we're set back
Don't-
because
yeah,
the boat's
exactly.
good. And then,
Right. Like my friend Mark always says, if you can't afford to do it once, you can't afford to do it twice. Point is, do it right the first time. This is probably the hardest part about buying a boat. And honestly, this probably works for different things like houses or cars or things like that. If you see the boat and you go, that is the boat for me, don't buy that boat. Don't do it. Absolutely do not make a decision on that boat. Have somebody else look at it first, because this is the same problem that people run into with new relationships. You just like get infatuated with a thing, and you overlook all of the negative aspects of that thing because you believe that it's the right one for you. Looking back, I could have known there was enough visual information and information from the survey available for me to tell that Magic Girl 3 was the wrong boat.
Mhm.
But I didn't see any of it
Yeah.
because I was just looking at the boat as like, look at it, it's so great, there's so much room, it will be such a great place to live, like I'll get to move out of Bridgewater and move down to New Jersey.
what weird place? Yeah, New Jersey.
Yeah, Jersey City.
But I mean, it was right outside of New York City.
Yeah,
so-
it was right
Yeah.
across the bay.
No, that's the cool part.
Which is cheaper. It's cheaper to live in Jersey City than it is to live in New York.
Yeah,
City,
yeah.
so-
It wasn't that expensive. It was. I think with all the boat costs and everything, it would have cost me about $800 a month to live there. So
Right.
compare that.
Way
to,
cheaper than rent. Rent's like
Yeah.
$1,000 to have share a studio.
even
with like
in
5
Jersey
people.
City, the rent was like friggin' $1,300 for a studio. It was crazy.
Wow.
That's terrible.
Jeez. Apologize for the rain. If this is the version we're gonna end up using for
Yeah.
our video / podcast or whatever, then sorry for the noise of the rain.
Actually, just another aside on that. Well, we'll have to put them in the description because I don't remember the names of the books. But there were 2 books I read that specifically talked about this issue as well, and they said the exact same thing.
Did you
exact
read them
same
after you
experience.
bought your boat?
I did read them after I bought my boat, unfortunately, but they said the exact same thing. I think we're gonna have to go somewhere else.
Thanks for watching part 1, guys. I really hope you're enjoying it so far. Wanted to give you a quick little update. In less than a month, Andrew, Madison, and I are moving down to Florida so that we can buy our own sailboat together, and that way we can start our journey as full-time cruisers. We're also bringing our cat along with us. Now, if you like this video, make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube. You can give it a like, you can give it a comment. Check us out on Instagram and on Facebook. And if you want to support us, you can head over to our Patreon. Stay tuned for part 2.